Yep, we're still talking about the penguin. My last video on the well-dressed little guy struck a nerve, and I think I know why. It's because the quiet exit trend has transitioned from a workplace trend to a lifestyle. We see the penguin walking away into the white void of Antarctica, and we can't help but feel envious. Why? Because we want our own void to escape to, a place of solitude, a place of silence. But what are we really looking for in the silence? Hi, I'm Jay, and this is part 1 of my 5-part series, The Nihilist Culture. First off, I have to admit that the allure of the void grows stronger every day. 2026 seems like a continuation of 2025's problems, but even more amplified. Between affordability issues that make the status quo feel impossible and a digital world that is transactional and impersonal, it's no wonder we want to ping-pong ourselves right out of society. I get it. Just like the penguin, you can be surrounded by family, co-workers, friends, and still feel alone. Why do you think that is? What is it this day and age that makes us no longer want to people and walk out into the snowy mountains? Honestly, I don't think it's just a loneliness thing. There's a sub-layer to it: apathy. This is what I call the silence of the snow. It's that nihilistic urge to just stop. But here's the thing. We can't afford to stop. We have mouths to feed, people to care for, and if you feel apathy is leading you to, well, disappear forever, please seek help and understand you're needed in this world. Maybe you're framing it as protecting your peace, but often we're just choosing to be alone because peopling takes too much out of us, especially when everything and everyone seems so plastic these days. Perfectly polished social media feeds. Every conversation sounds like a soundbite. I mean, look at me. I wrote this script and reading from a teleprompter so that my thoughts would be perfectly curated for the 1 to maybe 10 people that might watch this. I have to ask myself, am I being inauthentic for not talking off the cuff? Am I too afraid of being vulnerable, or am I simply being prepared? Maybe it's a mix of them all. Regardless, the reason why I'm making this video is because I want you to know that, unlike this penguin, walking away isn't the answer. Walking away from the problems of the world won't necessarily help us find ourselves. But if for a moment, when you remove the noise, you might find that the silence has a voice as well. The question is, whose is it? In the Bible, there's a recurring theme of the wilderness. Moses, Elijah, and even Jesus all had their penguin moments. They all walked away from the colony into the silence. But here is the critical difference. They didn't go to the wilderness for silence, but to hear. Scripture tells us that inside the heart of every human is a longing for something we can't quite put our finger on. We think that longing is for peace and quiet, but it's actually for the voice of the shepherd, a voice that speaks in the silence. In the book of Ecclesiastes, Solomon explains that while the vanities of life can feel like chasing the wind or walking into a blizzard, there is a finality to our design. He says that the whole duty of man is to fear God and keep his commandments. In my first video, I asked, where was the penguin going? Someone commented that the penguin actually died. Not sure if it's true, but if it is, we should take stock of our apathetic, nihilistic mindset. The penguin walked away from the world. Similarly, God's calling us to do the same, but instead of an aimless walk into the snowy mountains, he's leading us to him. For the penguin, the silence of the snow was a means to disappear, but for us, it's the place for us to be found. So, what are you actually looking for in the silence? Let me know in the comments below. And let me close by saying, don't just walk away from something. Make sure you're walking toward someone. If you like this video, part 2 will be released shortly. But in the meantime, I think you'll like this video as well. Until next time, remember, there's an explanation for everything. Let's find it together. I'll see you at the next one.